With that, she lunged toward the woman's bowl of coins. But as she rushed forward, her foot caught a small piece of firewood lying on the ground. The mighty Mama Asuka tripped and crashed into the table. The bowl of coins toppled, scattering pitiful money into the dust. Her heavy arm knocked over the pot of hot soup simmering on the stove. Shh! The boiling soup spilled, splashing across her legs. Yay! Mama Asuka screamed, stumbling backward as the scalding liquid burned her skin. The market froze in shock. Some women gasped. Others quickly pressed their hands to their mouths to hide the laughter that tried to escape. The great Mama Asuka, the terror of Okpuno, was writhing in pain before their very eyes. She tried to stand tall, but her legs betrayed her. Slowly, shamefully, she gathered her wrapper around her wet, burned skin, rose shakily, and limped away from the market. The once proud giant now looked like a wounded animal. The villagers watched silently as she dragged her body down the dusty path, disappearing into the distance. For the first time, they saw her defeated, not by a man, not by a spirit, but by her own clumsiness and pride. For 2 weeks, Mama Asuka was not seen in the village. The gossip spread quickly. Some said her legs were covered in blisters and she could not walk. Others said the gods had finally punished her for her wickedness. The people of Opuno breathed easier. Women laughed more freely. Children played outside again, and men gathered at the square without fear of being humiliated. Many thought, at last we are free. But freedom in Opuno was short lived. One rainy Friday afternoon, just when the villagers had begun to enjoy the peace, a familiar figure appeared at the edge of the marketplace. Mama Asuka, her burns healed, her chest broad, her eyes fiercer than before, marched in again. The laughter stopped. The silence returned. Mama Asuka had returned, this time harder, crueler, and more unforgiving. She terrorized the villagers more than ever before, her cruelty sharper, her greed heavier, and her hands quicker to strike at anyone who dared to resist. But what she did not realize was that her downfall was already drawing close. The very next day, after she had carried away a poor farmer's harvest and dropped it in her house, Mama Asuka set out again. This time she was going to the riverside to ease herself, as she always did. She walked fast on the narrow bush path, her big legs shaking the ground. The grass bent out of her way, and even the birds grew quiet. But Mama Asuka did not care. She believed nothing could ever stop her. Suddenly, from the bushes ahead, a huge buffalo stepped out. Its horns were wide, its eyes red and angry. The beast snorted, shaking the earth beneath its hooves. Mama Asuka stopped. For the first time, her heart jumped in fear, but she quickly raised her voice. Foolish animal, do you know who I am? I am Mama Asuka. Get out of my way. The buffalo did not move. Instead, it roared and rushed at her. Mama Asuka tried to run, but her body was too heavy. The beast struck her with its horns and threw her high into the air. She landed with a scream, but before she could get up, the buffalo came again, stamping and tossing her into the bushes. The sound of her cries filled the forest, then faded. At last, silence returned. Hours later, some women passing by to fetch water found her body. Her wrapper was torn, her chest still, her proud face covered in dust. They ran back to the village shouting, Mama Asuka is dead! The news spread quickly. At first, the villagers could not believe it, but when more women confirmed it, the people began to rejoice. Men clapped their hands, women danced, children sang in the square. For the first time in years, Okpuno was free. The storm is gone, they cried. Mama Asuka will trouble us no more. The elders raised their hands to the sky and said, truly, pride goes before a fall. No matter how strong a person is, evil will always meet its end. And so, the story of Mama Asuka, the village champion who became a terror, ended by the same riverside where she had once laughed in pride. The storm had fallen. Peace had returned.